What happened to yearning? What happened to men that pursue? What happened to men being confident enough to make the first move? I feel like our generation is just so whacked out. Like we're just all messed up. And I think with the phones we're just so antisocial and just everything is just out of sorts and it's not how it used to be. And I think it's a real shame that like the art of dating and like yearning and pursuing is just dead. Like I watch shows like Bridgerton, I'm like, oh my god, we will never have that again. It's just gonna get worse. And it's actually so sad. Especially dating apps have just ruined it all.
Bro, I want you to imagine something. Imagine that you worked at a company for 10 years. You worked at a job for 10 years. You gave in your blood and sweat, your overtimes, your weekends, your public holidays. You gave everything you could give for this company you worked for. But every year they kept on reminding you that you are not doing enough, that you are not giving enough, that you are not performing well. And then one day you wake up and said, I'm tired of all of this. I give up. And then you hand over your resignation. And then all of a sudden, they want you back. They want to increase your salary. They want to give you a better office space. They want to give you better working conditions. Would you accept? Because that's what is happening in dating right now. And 78% of men under 35 are saying no, they are not going back to that deal. It was bad, it's going to be bad. When you even go back in history, your grandfather, your great grandfather needed a wife. Your father wanted a wife. But you've sat back and you've watched what happened to them, to your uncles, to your elder brothers, and you have concluded it's not even worth it. An entire generation of men is looking at dating today, looking at the dating market, looking at the crazy demands, looking at the double standards, looking at all these shame tactics used on men. They are looking at it and they are saying, no, the juice is not worth this squeeze. I will not risk everything I have to end up being shamed and being unappreciated and being called names for something that I took my feet and my hands into. It's not worth it. And believe me, some people might think men are just afraid, as the lady said. Some people might think men just lack the courage or men don't know how to accept rejection. Come on, we've been rejected since we were teenagers. We've faced rejection our whole life. So it's not about that. It's just that we did the math. Guys are doing the math, and the math is not mathing. The math is not encouraging. When you look at the accusations, the false accusations, the abuse, the internet shaming, the financial risk, and everything that comes with it, the emotional beat up you receive, it's not worth it. And if you are agreeing with this message so far, smash the subscribe button because we are here to support and encourage masculinity and then to call out the BS that's happening every day. Now let's get into it. And television has really played another part. She's comparing modern dating to a TV show. And this is the thing with women. They always have this idea of a fairy tale relationship where they expect men to be perfect as they see on TV, but without trying themselves to be perfect as the women they see on TV. They want men to act. They want men to be like ready made, but they don't hold themselves accountable. They don't look at themselves in the mirror and say, okay, if I'm asking this from a man, am I giving it? If I want my man to be a protector, if I want my man to be a provider, if I want my man to lead, if I want my man to fight for me, if I want my man to put his life on the line for me, what am I doing in return? Am I being nurturing? Am I being feminine? Am I giving him a safe space? Am I taking care of his home? Am I making sure that he's emotionally regulated when he comes back from hustling outside? Does he find a clean, nice space? Does he find food ready for him to eat? Am I submissive? They don't ask these questions. They only bring conditions. He should do this. He should be this. He should have this. He should show this. He should. What are you doing? This leads to men just, you know, saying it's not worth it. They just walk away. The few ones who have the courage to even call them out, to say, I have boundaries, to say, I have standards, to say, my woman cannot do this, my woman cannot do that. Those ones are shamed. They are called insecure. They are called manipulative. They are called abusive. He's emotionally abusive. They call them toxic masculinity just because they want this guy to come back online. They want to be able to control these men. So when a man weighs all of this, the drama he's getting himself into, the conditions he has to fulfill just to be with an entitled lady. He says it's not worth it. It's not worth it. She's blaming phones, she's blaming dating apps, she's blaming everything, but she's not blaming the culture that shifted all of this. The culture that told women that if they sleep with as many men as possible, that's empowerment. The culture that told women that men were enemies. The culture that told women that they have to be combative, that they have to be competitive against a man they should be building with. No, she's not blaming that one. She's not blaming the culture that could not hold or cannot hold women accountable, that encourages women to have crazy standards. She's blaming dating apps. She's blaming phones. She's blaming, of course, technology accelerated it. But everything was being set in place already before even the technological revolution. And at the end, again, they blame men. They say men are not courageous enough. Men don't have the guts to walk up to. If men don't approach, why can't you approach? You said what a man can do, a woman can do better. Then if you approach, go up to him, tell him I love you, tell him, and then he will tell you if he wants you or not. He'll give you his own conditions to be with him because that's how you guys wanted. You wanted equality. That's the equality. I know you want equality only when it suits you. But when it calls you out, when it exposes you, it becomes a problem. You don't want that equality. That's the double standards we are talking about. Men used to pursue women for a reason because it was tied to access to a feminine body, access to a good woman. But now you share your body right and left. You disrespect, you dishonor, you shame his leadership. You are not submissive. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot eat your cake and have it. It doesn't work like this. The moment casual sex was normalized, the moment intimacy was separated from commitment, everything changed. It gave men more access. It pulled women back. Women thought they became bigger, more independent, but it did not help them. It has not helped them. No woman of a sound brain wants to be run through by hundreds of men. No woman wants to destroy her body just to prove a point. But the culture encourage you guys to do it. And we are seeing it every day. We are seeing the consequences. And believe me, 10 to 20 years from now, we are going to have the most angry, bitter feminist because they will realize they were sold a lie and they will blame the culture for it. I just hope this thing self corrects as soon as possible because we need each other. Men need women, need men. We are social creatures and we are only better when we work together. Society grows when men and women work together. So, no, men don't hate women. Why should men hate women? Half of the world's population is women. The other half is their children. So why should men hate women? Men are simply not entertaining the BS that comes with modern day relationship. If you cannot compromise, it's not for you. And men have always compromised. Men have always imagine the biggest compromise someone can do for you is to put his life on the line for you. So when a man signs that marriage stuff, he's putting his life on the line for you. That's the biggest compromise. And when you come in without going down from your high horse with crazy demands, you end up lonely. And instead of looking inward, holding yourself accountable, you blame other people, you blame other things, you blame men. It doesn't work like this. So many guys are opting out. They're quitting dating, they're quitting relationships, they're abandoning marriage. And if you're a guy watching this and you're opting out of dating, I prepared something for you. It's called the opt out decision test. It will help you know if you are ready to opt out or you should even opt out at all. It's free. The link is on the description of this video and on the first comment below. It's not motivation, it's a mirror. Answer the questions, have the data, and then make your decision. Now you see men, instead of chasing women, going out and drinking, getting drunk, or trying to prove a point or live for other people's validation. Men are not doing that anymore. Men are focusing on themselves. They are building their finances. I go to the gym every day and I see guys. I see young guys. I see old guys. Guys are working on themselves, their health, their body, their mental strength. Guys are working on their confidence, on their competence. They are working on being better for themselves because they know that when they are better, they tend to attract people who align with their mission. That's what guys are doing now. And that's what every guy should encourage every guy to do, because that's how you win. And when you do this and you finally want to settle with a woman, you always attract a woman that fits into your program. If you agree with what I'm saying, smash the subscribe button, share with your brother who needs to watch this, and see you in the next one. Copy that.